Well, here are a collection of alarm clocks. They're all screwball alarm clocks. Everything is different. It's sort of as though Rube Goldberg invented them, but actually some of them are very old. They date back to the 1850s, and they're American, and some are German, some are French. They're from all over the world, a collection of screwball clocks.
What do you mean by screwball?
Well, for example, take this particular clock, a French clock. This fellow here not only wakes you up in the morning, but he also gives you a light to wake up by. For example, all you got to do, set the alarm in the belly. You set it at the time you want to be awakened. The arm will fly up, strike the match, and light the candle in his hat. We're not having any pyrotechnics today, so we haven't fired them. Okay, here's another one.
How many clocks do you have?
Oh, alarm clocks, I haven't counted them. All I do is I collect them, I don't count them. Here's a clock for people, actually, literally, to pull you out of bed in the morning. Little clock, you fasten at the base of your bed, and for people who can't have to be pulled out of bed, you just set the spring. If he's a hard rise, you set the spring all the way out this way. You tie a little string onto his little toe, set this at the foot of the bed. In the morning, when the alarm clock goes off, it'll snap him out of bed, maybe break his toe, I don't know. Yes, most of them were found in New York. Most of them were found down on the Bowery in the various clock shops in all parts of Manhattan. Here, for example, is a gypsy fortune teller made by the Ruber brothers in 1902. I'm going to pull the handle down. Imagine I put a coin in. I did away with the coin machine. She grabs a little card. Thank you. Shake her head. She hands you the card, and it says, "You will travel. Be careful of traveling during the months of July and August because they are too warm and the balloon will ascend too rapidly and take you elsewhere." Well, that horse was made in New York in 1878, and it's a very charming carousel horse. This particular...
What got you interested in carousel horses? What time?
Well, I went out and I bought a merry-go-round. I came home and told my wife I bought a merry-go-round, and she was very happy about it. Of course, it weighed 27 tons, so I couldn't take it into the apartment. And, but we saved a great merry-go-round, which is now at the Smithsonian. If you're wondering what this is, this was on a counter in the original Astor Hotel, not the one in Times Square. And she has a gas pipe attachment in the back. In those days, I had gas. And you struck a match here, you lit her cigarette, and then you'd come down and light a cigar from her. The Astors and Vanderbilts all lit their cigars from this very cute Art Nouveau lady.
How'd you get that?
Well, I stayed under the walls while a bulldozer came and shoved it down, and I had to duck in time and save the pieces. This came from the Wallace Steeplechase Amusement Park in Coney Island in 1966 when they demolished the building. I saved 9 of these plaques, and I'm putting them together again the way they were, like sort of a Humpty Dumpty. Well, let me show you a little, very curious little vending machine. The kids used to go and take their penny, put it in here, turn the handle, and out comes a gumball with a little bit of action. Yeah. It's antique. It's about 40 years old.
Yeah, why do you choose to live in a New York City apartment when you have so much stuff?
Because New York is a really marvelous place. It's all hidden treasures are right here in New York. For a collector, there's nothing better in the world than New York City. New York is actually a storehouse of practically anything you want to collect. Here are some things here you want to take a look at. These stones all came from New York City buildings. This comes from Amsterdam and 90th Street from a big building. It's doesn't it look like the old Police Gazette lady? It's a marvelous piece of stone, and took it away for nothing. Of course, it's a little strain on, I would say you might get a hernia, so it's wise to get an accomplice, a good strong guy, and save these things.
Was this done legally?
Of course legally. If you weren't caught, it's legal. Now this hat, BRT, is Brooklyn Rapid Transit. I bought it right off the head of a train one time, and I've had it ever since. That's right. He didn't know what I wanted it for, and I told him that I was born in Brooklyn, and the Brooklyn trolley car used to go right by my house, and I had to have it. But this represents a lot of stuff I take down on Orchard Street for 15 cents, 20 cents, $1, $2. What are they worth today? Go out and ask another collector. He'll tell you.
Would you sell?
No, why should I? Where am I going to get another one again for that price? Are you crazy? Well, come in the bathroom. I want to show you something I've got. Here, this little machine is a toilet paper vending machine. It used to be in railway cars. You had to pay a penny. Shall I show you how it works? You got to be a little imaginative. You got to have a nose. You got to be a real hound and keep after it. Don't, even if they say no, say, well, let me look. Maybe I'll find something. And if it's good, I'll pay you for it. We'll share it together. If you're a gas or electricity inspector and you're a collector, you've got it made. There's untold treasures down there. And there's bars all over the city in the basements where they've got old Nickelodeons that are real treasures. There are things for all kinds of collectors. You go to an old stationery store that used to have toys, ask them to look in the basement, and you'll find cartons, unopened cartons of wonderful toys that date back to 1909, 1912, 1915, all kinds of things, you know.
You try doing that kind of thing?
You bet. Where do you think I got a lot of my stuff? Well, right here in this corner, we have an extraordinary musical instrument. It's a speed organ. Remember the old monkey grinder used to come around with a monkey? Well, this one actually belonged to a monkey grinder who had a monkey who died and couldn't bear to have the look at it.
Where's it from?
It's made in Brooklyn, New York, and it was owned by a man who was in New Jersey. Can I play you a tune?
Do you have anything else?
Are you kidding? Come on downtown, I'll show you 3 floors of the warehouse. Loaded. So this is the warehouse, and here we have some Uniscope peep shows from 1902, an old golf game from 1928, and this is a plunger hitter from 1906, a fortune teller from 1908, some more machines from 1912, a gun machine from 1912, more Muniscopes, a jukebox from 1930, another jukebox. Oh, here's a golf game from 1927. This is a beautiful little thing. A Cali machine, a drop viewer. Ah, here's something marvelous. Look at this. Now here's an Uncle Sam strength tester. You grab his hand, you give him a squeeze, and the dial on his chest goes around and tells you how strong you are. It says, shake hands with Uncle Sam. 1904. By the way, this is a very rare machine. It's called the three-way lung and grip tester. In the old days, everybody had to show how big chesty they were. They used to blow on this and show how strong they were in a dial, but they didn't realize they were transmitting tuberculosis to somebody else. So this was banned by the Department of Health about 1912. I want to show you something that's very close to my heart. About 30 years ago, I bought out an old carnival, and one of the things I found in there was this, and I'll show it to you. Now, get ready. Well, now here's a jukebox with a little bit of a with marvelous history, found in a Harlem basement of a saloon, and it looked like hell. It was all rusted, it was all full of dirt, and just the loving care brought it back to this condition. I'll just play you a tune to show you what it sounds like. Now watch the wonderful mechanism. This is called a packet, and believe me, it was the way they built packet cars back in the old days. Well, it's the way it is. Oh, this is... Red hot. try to come as often as I can, but not when late at night. It's very spooky, really. So I enjoy coming in any time, and so we
You
have.
ever come in here by yourself?
Yeah, but one day I found a machine with a skull. It's called the Illusion. See yourself as you will be. And I never got it to work. But one time I put the plug in and turned something, I don't know what I did, but it worked. And looked in, and suddenly I saw the flesh disappear from my face, and there was my skull. And I screamed, "Get me the hell out of here, for crying out!" And the lights went dead. And boy, I'm telling you, to feel my way out, finally I got to the front door and slammed it and put the alarm on and then turned the key and get out. Boy, I'm telling you, I thought I would drop dead from heart failure. But it was really worth it because it was a very rare machine from 1902. Now, we have it on the other side.
Would you like to tell people where we are?
We're, yeah and no. Here we're in Midtown Manhattan in a very strange warehouse near the waterfront. Very spooky, very scary, but wonderful. Here is the graveyard of all the great amusement parks, and I'm the gravekeeper.